One last stunt, going down in a blaze of glory.
Welcome to Davey Dave's Take. Today we were talking about The Fall Guy, the new film starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. The Fall Guy is about a stuntman played by Ryan Gosling. He has this thing with the director, Emily Blunt, but there's a mystery going around. There's something fishy happening, and the Fall Guy gets involved. First off, I really like the premise of this movie. I like the idea that this stunt person who always does crazy ass shit has to do even crazier shit, and it kind of blows his own mind. But right off the bat, you could tell that this is a love letter to stunt people. Stunt people who make movies happen, some of the craziest shit you've ever seen on screen, and without them, movies would be nothing. They deserve all the credit in the world, and this movie really is like appreciation for them, and I really love that. But also at the same time, it's this fun, romantic comedy adventure that I had a lot of fun with. I really did enjoy The Fall Guy. David Leitch directed this film, which is a really cool idea because he used to be a stunt person himself. So the idea that he's directing this movie that's like a love letter to stunt people is just really cool. But he has this style of directing that's really fast paced, like with Deadpool 2, Bullet Train, and now The Fall Guy, and it really keeps the movie going. And that's the biggest compliment I can give this film. Right off the bat, you understand where our characters are and you're already invested. Yes, it has to do with the filmmaking and the script being fun, but I really do think it's the performances. I think that's the best part about this film. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know that Ryan Gosling is one of my favorite actors working in Hollywood today. And one of the most underrated parts about his acting is his comedic performances. And I'm glad that Hollywood finally realized that Ryan Gosling is just funny as shit. He's great here. He's charming, he's hilarious, he's everything you would expect in a Ryan Gosling performance in a film like this. Also, Emily Blunt is fantastic here too. She's very funny, she's very charming, and their chemistry together is what really makes the movie work. Because there are a lot of scenes where it's just those two talking, and if those two didn't have the chemistry, those scenes would be extremely boring. But those scenes end up being one of the better parts of the film because those two are just so fun on screen. And not only does this film feel like a love letter to stuntmen, it just feels like a love letter to people who just love movies, who love seeing the process of a movie being made. There's a lot of scenes on set, a lot of PA and crew stuff, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that really make you appreciate the art of filmmaking, and it makes those parts of the film really fun. And that's why when they introduce a murder mystery into this film about making a film, it really works as they lean into the obscure situation that they're in, and it really works for the tone. And that leads into some really funny and exciting sequences with Ryan Gosling as a stunt person, having to do these stunts while the cameras aren't rolling because his life's actually in danger. And yes, there are a lot of things in this movie that are absolutely ridiculous. There are definitely some plot points in here that really don't make sense, that kind of peg the movie down for me a little bit, but those are the things you're not really supposed to think about in this movie. You're supposed to think about how this film is really trying to appreciate the work stunt people do, and let's have fun with it. But there are some points towards the end where I'm like, that doesn't really add up. Like, that person should definitely be in jail. And there's a lot of comedy and dialogue that did not work for me. It reminded me of some of the dialogue in Bullet Train, where it's like, most of it's great, and it's really funny, it's really fun, but then there are points where you're like, okay, that didn't really work. And ironically, there is a lot of CGI in here, but I don't think it takes away from the stunt work that's done in this film, because there are a lot of scenes in here where I'm like, I think that was CGI. And then at the end credits, they show behind the scenes of them filming those scenes, and it wasn't CGI. So the movie played a trick on me. Throughout the movie, I was like, there's CGI in here, I don't like that. But then you watch the credits, you're like, wait, there is either no CGI or there's just a little CGI, and I'm just fucking stupid. I guess what I'm saying is there's just some sequences that just don't look right, but overall I thought the action was done really well, and obviously the stunt work here is amazing, and that's like the whole point of the film. This film is definitely a love letter to stunt people, the work that they do, because it is incredible, while also making a pretty solid action rom-com about a stunt person who gets caught in a murder mystery while also trying to get back on his feet. There are parts of the movie that don't always work for me, and it's nothing that's going to completely blow you away, but the film does feel very charming, and overall really worked for me. I'm going to give The Fall Guy 7.5 Davey Daves. I didn't know this until today, but this film is based off of a 1980s TV series about a stuntman who does undercover work, I think, or just does police work. And if you're a big fan of that series, I think you'll have a fun time here. So, The Fall Guy, let me know what you guys thought of it once you've seen it. I'm curious to hear, and thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Davey Dave's Takes.